Hey guys, what's up? It's Maddie. Today I'm coming back with another story time. I'm about to graduate college. It's been a long, drawn-out 5-year process. Over the past month or so, I've been reminiscing on my roommate situation. And let's just say I've had an interesting 5 years with a lot of interesting roommates. I thought about the craziest, weirdest experience I had with a roommate, and I thought many of you could probably relate. So yeah, I'm just gonna tell you the story about my craziest, weirdest, just like what the fuck roommate. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I can live by myself if I want to, and I'm about to move in with one of my best friends, so I'm very excited, and now it's just time to reminisce on the crazies. So here is the craziest roommate I've ever had, and this was, I think it was sophomore year of college. This was my first year living off of campus. Me and a couple girls who are friends decided to room together, but we wanted to live as cheaply as possible, so we needed a 4-bedroom, and we couldn't find another person who wanted to move in with us because we were extra and no one wanted to live with us. We knew where we wanted to live, and so we were just like, hey, give us a random, we don't care, we like each other, hopefully they like us back, it'll be great, right? Yeah, it'll be great. So the apartment complex that we moved into assigned us to this girl who had already been living there. All of her roommates were moving out and we were moving in. Move-in day comes, it comes around. The first warning sign, I guess, was that very day. When we came in, the girl, we're gonna call her Alex. We'll call her Alex. She was not there. She didn't want to say hello to us, which, I don't know. If it was me, I'd want to meet my roommates, but I digress. And we come in and the place is absolutely trashed. It is not clean whatsoever. We had no clue if the girl was just gone for the summer or what, but there was expired food covering the fridge. The fridge was disgusting. It smelled. There was trash all over the kitchen and the living room. There's broken glass on our front porch, and we were just like, how are we even allowed to move in like this? This place is disgusting. But we all had our parents with us, so our parents just helped us clean up, helped us settle in, and we were just like, okay, I guess we're gonna meet this girl whenever she shows up. I think it was like a couple weeks later we ended up meeting her, and she was just very much kept to herself, very quiet. She didn't want anything to do with us, which is fine. Like, that's totally fine. I'm very much like that as a roommate. Like, I like living with people who I like, but when I'm in my house, I'm basically in my room watching TV or filming videos or doing something by myself. And if my door is open, that means come in and talk to me. But if it's closed, it means I want to be by myself. Leave me alone. I'm an introvert. So yes, I understand that part. But it was just very weird vibes. And so basically you never knew she was there, but you could like feel her presence because anytime she would walk in, she would just like stare at you with very judgy eyes and then just like roll them and walk away. And so whenever we would be out there, we would like know that she hated us, and it was just a very uncomfortable situation. The first little conflict we had, it wasn't even conflict, it was just weird. One time I'm in my room and I'm just, the door is closed and I smell something very off. It's like, oh, something is happening that shouldn't be happening in my apartment. So I open the door and my room fills with smoke. And I immediately run into the kitchen and I look and the entire kitchen is filled with smoke. And I open the oven and the oven just pours out with smoke. And I immediately start panicking. I open up all the windows and the doors, I turn off the oven, I start fanning everything, and I look around the corner and Alex is just sitting there, like popping snacks into her mouth, watching the TV. The kitchen and the living room are like connected. It's a very open concept area. So she is very well aware that it is smoking. I opened the patio door, which is right in front of her, and she was cooking something in the oven, watching smoke seep out, about to burn our entire apartment down, and she's just chilling there, like popping popcorn into her mouth, watching me just like frantically try to save our apartment. And she doesn't get up, she doesn't move, she's just watching me. And after like 5 minutes of like watching me sweat, panicking, she's like, oh, yeah, I was cooking something, what are you doing? What do you think I'm doing? I'm trying to save this place. And so all my roommates eventually, like, they hear me running around panicking, and they come out and they start like coughing. Our fire alarm starts going off, and then she's like, oh, I guess I was burning it, wasn't I? And we're like, yeah, you were. You want to come help us? And she's like, no, it's okay, you got it. And homegirl just sits back down, keeps eating her popcorn, and I'm just like, you almost burnt down our house, and you're just gonna sit there. I don't trust you now, alone in this apartment. I don't get it. From then on, it was just like, what is happening? And she was like a senior, we were sophomores. So now I'm questioning the sanity of someone who is about to be on their own, alone in life. You're about to graduate and you can almost burn your house down. Like, there's a problem here. And then, okay, this brings me up into another kitchen issue. Maybe a couple months later, I come to the kitchen and I am gonna bake something in the oven. Probably like, I liked fish sticks at that time of my life, so I think I was probably gonna make fish sticks. And so I just turned on the oven to preheat it. Didn't think to look in the oven, because what should be in the oven besides, maybe an oven rack, like normal people. But a few minutes later, I start smelling some very foul odor coming from the oven after it is hot, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I open the oven. There is a plastic yogurt container full of yogurt that has now melted inside of the oven. I don't know if any of you have ever smelled burnt plastic. It is the most foul smelling thing you will ever smell in your entire life, and it has now like burnt through the little clear like trays, crusted in there, and is now like stuck underneath on the bottom of the oven where the little coal things are, the rings that heat up. It is now stuck, and it smells disgusting. And who puts yogurt in the oven? Who puts anything in the oven and leaves it? But who puts yogurt in the oven? I'm very confused, and I'm getting a migraine now because it smells so bad. So I text all of the roommates and I'm like, hey guys, I just turned on the oven and there was yogurt in there. Whose yogurt was it? And no one responds. And of course, everyone knows it was Alex. But Alex does not respond for 5 days. And so for the first 2 days, I'm like, I'm not cleaning this up. This is not my fault. But no one responds. Everybody wants to cook. So I eventually spend 3 hours trying to scrub burnt plastic out of our oven. Then Alex decides to respond 2 days later, after she knows I've cleaned it up, saying, oh, that was my yogurt. I'll clean it up eventually. Like, girl, you know I already cleaned it up. You know you shouldn't have put yogurt in the oven. Like, what were you... Like, these are just like little things, but they're things that make you question if this person is competent enough to be living in an apartment, let alone graduate. And we are all just sitting there like, why are we living with this person? What have we gotten ourselves into? Last little story about Alex that just really tops the icing on the cake. It's about 8 a.m. and I get a knock on my bedroom door. So it wakes me up, and I tell the person to come in, and yeah, Alex barges in my room and she's like, hey, what are you doing right now? gee, I don't know, I'm sleeping, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I need to go to the bank. I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, no, I don't have a car. I need to go to the bank right now. I need you to drive me. I'm like a little just confused on why this was a demand and not a request. But I'm not like gonna deny someone if they really need it and they don't have a car. So I was just like, okay, I can take you. Like, when do you need to go? And she's like, right now. So I'm just like, okay, I guess we're going to the bank. So I literally just roll out of bed. I don't brush my teeth, I don't brush my hair, I don't get out of my pajamas. I'm literally just like, I'm just driving this girl to the bank real quick. So I'm in my, like I said, I am in my pajamas. I did not change. I put on slippers and I drive her to the bank. Well, I don't know which bank we're going to. Give me directions to the bank of her choice. 25 minutes away, where it is a typical bank. It is a Wells Fargo. There was a Wells Fargo that was 5 minutes away from our house, but she chose to go to the one that was 25 minutes away. I don't know why. But then we get there and I park and I'm like, okay, like, do you just need to deposit something or what's going on? She's like, oh, actually, I need to make an international transfer. It's gonna take about like 2 hours. So yeah, you can just stay in the car and I'll be back. And she just gets out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside it. And I was just like, what? Excuse me. 2 hours of me just sitting in the car waiting for you. Number one, I'm doing you a favor. Number two, why did you not tell me this is the request you needed to do? Number three, what if I had something to do? Like, homegirl. I'm just like, well, what do I do with my time? So I just text her and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. Like, text me when you're done. And I go to the grocery store and then I get this angry text message back from her being like, why did you leave me at the bank? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, like, you told me it was gonna be 2 hours. I'm literally right across the street at the grocery store. I'm at the Publix right over there. Like, you are fine. But yeah, after that, I just picked her back up and I did not talk to her for the rest of that 25-minute ride home, okay? It was me and Alex, we just did not vibe very well. Yeah, roommates are just hard, and honestly, I can't wait until the day when I can afford to live alone, because then you can pick and choose who comes into your house and how they act in your house. But until that day, I will have probably many interesting roommate stories, because she is not the only one who has been a little bit nightmarish. But until that day, this is my first edition of the college roommate horror stories. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for bearing with me while I took a 2-month hiatus. I will explain more about that later, but until then, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.